Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, the world of Wayne. We now got the next 4 stages of the Hachette Parker release, a build the Spitfire Mk1a. We're going to be doing issues 59 to 62. 4 magazines, you expect there to be a lot to do, but there's not. I normally do these on the live stream, so it's been a long time since we've actually done these on a standalone video. But I've had a pretty crazy week so far this week, so that's pretty much why you haven't seen a video on the channel. You'll have to excuse me if I'm mixing my words up or slurring my words. I did have a migraine yesterday, and I still have the remnants of it today. So if I am slurring my words, I apologise, but that's what it is. It's the drugs that I have to take for that. But thank God I only get them rarely. But today it looks like we're going to be increasing the fuselage of the Spitfire, and what I'll do, because I haven't really done it in a group of 4 before on a standalone video, I will break this down into stages and show you the instructions at each stage. The only thing to let you know is that if you are interested in the stands that I'm using, that you see me building the Spitfire on, they are available through oligomodels.com. I have put a little splash card on the screen there, so you can follow that over there and you can get the wing support, you can actually get the main stand, and you can get the rear clamp stand that you'll see in this video as well. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So as you can see, stage 59, we're going to be fitting the right side fuselage frame. Not a lot to do. It's one side of the frame to put on. And then that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Wow, that's going to be a quick issue. So what I'll do is I'll bring the plane over on the stand. And I am going to have it facing. We don't need the cockpit on there. I put that on there just to show you peeps what it looks like at the last video. I'm going to put the supports under the wings. I'm going to have it this way round so you can see this at home watching me. So this is actually upside down for me, so this is going to be fun. But this is the starboard side of the plane to me, and this now is the port side of the plane. Now this is what the starboard side looks like. It's all made out of metal, and what we're going to be doing is, you can see we've got some holes here, and we have got a larger hole here. We're sort of going to slide these 2 holes underneath this panel here, but this one's going to be fitting over the top. So if I slide this in and show you what it looks like, it should look just like that when it's put in. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to show you once again on the close-up camera, because that can be a little bit tricky, but that's how that's going to sit in like that. Now we have got 2x4mm screws to put in here. So here's the first one. I've only put it in light at the moment just to keep that lined up. The second one will be going into the back, which probably best to go through the window to keep that in. But that's this one just here. And then make sure they're nice and tight. 1, 2, that's in place. And that's all there is to do in that stage. As you can see in stage 60, we're going to be doing the left side fuselage frame, and we have got an LED as well. So once again, we're going to put the frame in like we have just done, but we do have an LED to put in a housing here. We're going to mount that on the frame, and then all of that's going to be put together. So by the end of it, it's looking just like that. So here's all the parts from stage 60, and once again, we've got the other side fuselage frame looking just like that. We have got a little slot just at the top here for this magnet to go in. And it's going to go in that way, so it's long ways, so it's actually going to be able to bite to the other side of the fuselage. But we do need to glue this into place. So what I'm going to do, I've got some glue here. I'm just going to put that into this channel at the bottom here. That's going to hold that into place. Hopefully you can see that. I'll put that magnet in place, make sure it's all the way down, so that looks like that. We can put that to one side because we need to unravel the LED that we've got here. And we're going to put a sticker on the bottom of it. The sticker actually says L6. Get that off. And that's going to go around the plug end. Like that. Now this is going to go into the mount, which is actually on a sprue at the moment. So I need to cut this off the sprue. Got my sprue cutters here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's those 2 parts off. So this is going to sit in here just like that. And it's going to be sealed once again with some glue just into the 2 holes that you can see. One here and one the other side, just like that, and we'll close that off with the other side here by pushing the lugs into those channels we just made. And there we go, that should look like that. Now I've just realised I've put this magnet in the wrong side. They did want it in the starboard side, but it is going to make the blindest bit of difference if I bring over the craft. This is the light we just made. It's going to fit onto the starboard side fuselage just like that. It is going to need a tiny bit of glue. I'm guessing we're going to be putting glue in this side for the magnet as well anyway, because the magnet's not to hold these pieces together. The magnet's actually to hold in a unit that's going on top there. So let's just slot this one in like that. The last piece we've got to put in looks like this at the back there. This is the base of the antenna, and that's just going to go into the back one that you can see right there. So once again, a little bit of glue just around that channel, and we'll push this in. All of these parts are going to be held when we put the other side of the fuselage in anyway. So that's the other side of the antenna in. Then what we want to do is make sure all of these wires are coming out the back here, because we're going to be putting on the other side of the fuselage. Get my hands out of the way. And it's going to go on exactly like last time. So that's just going to go under there and over like that. Squeeze those two bits together. As you said, seen, those bits are now never going to fall out, but we do need to put them in, which means we need the 2x4 silver screws again. And this one's going to be held in a lot more locations. We've got some at the top here first. So I'll put the one in over here. That's number one. We've got one on the other side here, just behind the antenna. Number two, see, that's tightening all of these bits together. Did have a pinched wire there, which we don't want, so I've just taken that back out to put this back in. Be careful of that. No pinched wires again. So we've got one just down here. I bet you when you saw that pinched wire you were like, Wayne, you're making a mistake. I spotted it. I'm not that dopey yet. And then the final one is just down this side over here. We do have a couple more screws to put in. One at this side here. Just going to close that up there. And the last one is just at the other side. So all in all, there's 4 screws just on the top section of this fuselage, 2 on the bottom. Nice and secure, no gaps. That's all there is to do in that stage. Now in issue 61, we've just got the lower fuselage panel. Not a lot to do in this. I'll open the screws up here, bring the plane back over, and quite simply all we're going to do, I'm just going to line this up so we can see it good, is we're going to take this and it's just going to go into the 4 holes that we can see at the bottom. So this is actually just going to go in like that. There. And it's going to be held in with 4 of the silver screws. Boy, there wasn't a lot to do in that one, was there? Let's hold it in from this side first. That's one. And I'll do the other 3. Some of these can be a little bit tricky figuring out how you're going to get the screwdriver down to screw them in. That's not in straight, that one. It is now. So that's 2. We'll have 1 just on this side. I will show you what this looks like from the underneath in a second. That's number 3. And lastly, We're doing all of this by working around the wires there. That's number 4 in here. So just so you can see from the bottom now, that looks just like that. But that is all there is to do in that stage. Which means the last stage we're doing here is just the electrical connector and housing. We're just going to put that together. Looks like we've got quite a bit to actually get this into one piece. Then we're going to be putting this into the fuselage that we just created. And that is going to be all there is to do in that. So here's all the parts. There doesn't actually seem to be too much stuff in this one, to be honest with you. So we've got 4 pages of instructions there. I'm quite nervous to see why it's been spread over like 4 pages. But we will see. I'll get these screws out. And the first thing they want me to do is drop this electrical connector just through the top of this one like this. Making sure it is the right way around, this way here. And we're just going to start the thread going. It is quite tight, but it will go. And we want that to be flush to this section. Now I'm just doing this by hand. You see, I haven't had to use oil or anything. That's the neighbour's dogs, I'm afraid. I've got the door open because it's very hot in the UK today. But there we go. That's all fitting flush, looking good. Now we want to take the connector housing. We want this one which has got the hole in this front section here, not the one that's got the lug, because that's going to fit over the top. This one is going to fit down like this, and the other one is going to fit through this cable here. It's going to fit on top to bite those together like that. So as you can see, this can still rotate in there, no problems at all. We do need to just apply a little bit of super glue. I don't normally put it directly from the glue pot, but seeing as there's hardly anything to do with the glue in this one, I have. But that is going to hold that in place. Move the screws over because I'm going to bring over the fuselage again. We don't want to trap any of these wires, but this is just going to fit over the 2 holes that we see at the back there. So if I thread that wire through for now and put this into position, just like that. It's better to approach it from the bottom to put it up. We're going to screw that in with the larger screws that they've gave us. And they are 2 times 6mm screws. So trying to figure out how to get this one in. There's a tiny opening on one side of the fuselage here. So that's the first one in. Nice and tight. And we're going to do the same on the other side, which again we're going to have to go through probably the top window to get that in. And that one's going in all the way as well. So that's nice and tight in place. As you can see, this cable is still free to move in there, but that is all there is to do in that stage. And in fact, those 4 issues there, that's all there is to do in all of those issues. I think before we go, I've got to just put this cockpit back on to where it's actually going to sit, which I believe it's going to sit just into this back section here, like that. So that will give you an idea of where everything is going. What an absolute beauty. Looks really good, doesn't it? And that's all there is to do in that stage. Now tomorrow we're going to have the Shelby Cobra Pack 9 from Mk1a models. Not quite sure what time that will be out, but that will be out all weekend. And then next week we're going to be having the Zero Fighter Pack 3 and the Bismarck. Are we on Pack 5 now? So it's going to be a busy week next week. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.